The silver blade in the night. Night fell over the Ukrainian front. The sky drowned in a cold gray light. From the horizon, a white streak of fire flashed and vanished like a ghost passing by. It was no lightning bolt, but a MiG-31BM, Russia's supersonic predator, the direct heir to the legendary Cold War interceptors. The aircraft's body stretched nearly 22.6 meters long with a wingspan of 13.46 meters, its surface coated in radar-absorbent paint. Beneath the titanium and aluminum alloy skin were two massive Soloviev D-30F6 engines, each capable of producing 15,500 kilograms of thrust with afterburner, propelling the steel bird to Mach 2.83, fast enough to cross the horizon before enemy radars could even lock on. The MiG-31 was no silky stealth fighter like the F-35, but its invisibility lay in speed, altitude, and radar reach. The Zaslon-M radar could detect targets more than 400 kilometers away, track 24 at once, and engage 8 simultaneously. On its pylons, it carried a deadly mix: R-37M long-range air-to-air missiles at Mach 6 with a range of 300 kilometers, Kh-47M2 Kinzhal hypersonic missiles, daggers, capable of piercing warships and fortified bunkers, as well as guided bombs and Kh-59 Mk2 cruise missiles. As the war in Ukraine escalated, MiG-31BMs were deployed from Savoslayka and Olenia air bases, operating in pairs, cruising at 18 kilometers altitude, beyond the easy reach of enemy air defenses. Their missions: airspace escort, destruction of strategic targets, and preemptive strikes. In March 2023, one pair carrying Kinsels broke through Kiev's air defenses, striking military infrastructure in Ivano-Frankivsk. Those attacks were described as from impossible distances, with the Kinsel plunging at nearly 12,000 kilometers per hour, giving warning radars only seconds before impact. One night, in complete darkness, MiG-31BM Red 92 took off from Murmansk, armed with 2 R-37Ms. Over eastern Ukraine, the Zaslon radar detected 4 Su-27s escorting attack UAVs. With just 2 trigger pulls, the R-37Ms streaked out, turning 2 Su-27s into balls of fire, scattering the rest of the formation. Unofficial figures suggest the MiG-31 has flown dozens of interception and long-range strike missions in Ukraine without losing a single aircraft to enemy fire. Among pilots, it is called the Sword of the North, a weapon both cold and merciless, born to tear open the sky and crush its prey before they even realize they are hunted. At nearly 20 kilometers above the Earth, the MiG-31 roared on, leaving only the thunder of its engines and a deadly void in the air. It needed no declaration, only results. And those results were written in steel, fire, and speed. Part 2. The Sword and the Phantom. Late winter. The skies over eastern Ukraine were thick with moisture and the smell of gunpowder. The misty night wrapped itself around the battlefield, but on the radar screens at the Russian command center in Belgorod, an unusual blip appeared, moving fast, erratic, cutting across the border. Intelligence confirmed an F-35A Lightning II of NATO on a reconnaissance mission, possibly armed for strike. The order came in crisp and cold. Pair 17, scramble. Intercept. 2 MiG-31BMs roared out of their hangars, the D-30F6 engines thundering like caged beasts set free. Without navigation lights, they sliced through the night, hitting Mach 1.5 in less than a minute, then climbing to Mach 2.8. At 19 kilometers altitude, the air was no more than thin threads, and the moonlight bent in the rarefied sky. Lead pilot Colonel Sidorov opened comms. Target at 320 kilometers, descending. Lock with Zaslon radar. On his display, the faint silhouette of the F-35 appeared, ghostly but visible under special scan frequencies. Stealth might hide it from conventional radar, but before the MiG-31, it was just prey holding its breath. The F-35 realized it was being hunted. It released decoys, broke sharply southwest, and accelerated. But with a top speed of barely Mach 1.6, it was a sparrow fleeing from an eagle. Sidorov was in no rush. He knew both range and time favored him. R-37M, fire! The nearly 4-meter missile dropped from the pylon, its solid-fuel engine igniting like a newborn star, driving it at Mach 6. The F-35 twisted again, pushing G-forces to the edge of human tolerance. But the R-37M did not care. In under 40 seconds, the blip vanished from Sidorov's radar. Far away, a red bloom lit the clouds before fading into the night. Silence followed, broken only by the slow return of Sidorov's heartbeat. The commander's voice came over the radio, deep and steady. Target eliminated. Return to base. The MiG-31 banked north, disappearing into darkness as it had arrived. The battle left no trace, only its echo in classified files, where numbers on speed, range, and results lay neat and sharp as a blade's cut. That night, NATO pilots would give it a different name, the Silver Phantom, the hunter that appears and vanishes before war even remembers its face. Part 3. The Strike from the Sky. Dawn. Early April. The skies over western Ukraine lay still, but on the ground, the fuel depot and command center in Lviv remained brightly lit. Inside, duty officers studied battle maps, unaware that nearly 2,000 kilometers away, a decision had been made. From Olenia Air Base on the Kola Peninsula, 2 MiG-31K fighters rolled silently onto the runway. Unlike the BM interceptors, the K variant was optimized to carry the Kh-47M2 Kinzhal, a hypersonic missile nearly 8 meters long, weighing 4.5 tons, with a range of over 2,000 kilometers and speeds up to Mach 10. The D-30F6 engines roared, vibrations rippling through the titanium frame. The dagger hanging beneath the fuselage gleamed under the moonlight, a colossal silver spear. In the cockpit, Lieutenant Colonel Morozov heard the readiness call. Target locked by guidance system. Cleared to launch. They climbed to 16 kilometers altitude, heading south at Mach 2. An Il-78 tanker waited en route to refuel them midair, ensuring no landing was needed. At 1,500 kilometers from the target, the GLONASS guidance system pinpointed the coordinates to the meter. Morozov squeezed the trigger. The Kinsel dropped from the fuselage, its booster igniting, carving a white streak across the night sky. In 10 seconds, it broke Mach 5. After 60, it reached Mach 10, too fast for any Patriot or NASAM system to calculate an intercept. Its quasi-ballistic trajectory pierced the stratosphere before plunging down like a meteor. In Lviv, air raid sirens wailed. Air defense crews scrambled, radar screens flashing a faint trace, then nothing. 3 seconds later, the earth shook. The Kinsel punched through the armored roof of the fuel depot, turning thousands of tons of fuel into a towering fireball. The shockwave shattered windows over 3 kilometers away. One strike, no need for a second. The adjacent command center was crippled, communications in western Ukraine temporarily severed. Morozov and his wingman sped away, vanishing from enemy airspace before radars could track them again. The combat report was as cold and precise as the strike itself. 2 MiG-31K, 2 Kinzels, 2 targets destroyed. Far in the north, snow fell softly on the hangar roofs. The MiG-31s rested like warriors, with blades sheathed, awaiting the next order. The war was far from over, and the silver blade still hungered to cut deeper into the enemy's heart. Thank you for listening. If you found this video useful and engaging, give it a like and share it so more people can watch.